I don't see anything. I'm just like, all right, y'all just go on.
For years, Liz Johnston from 7 Little Johnstons has acted like her boyfriend Brice was the love of her life and perfect for her.
Today, Brice and I are looking at a house.
But under the surface, they've been hiding pretty much everything they could about him. Until this past season when it seemed like Liz was about to break up with him, only for her to announce that she didn't break up with him at all. She actually had a baby with him. Now the truth about who he actually is coming out once and for all. And you're never going to believe the truth about this guy. Trent and Amber Johnston have thrown plenty of shade at Brice over the years. They seem to be claiming that Brice has no money and no future. So what did Brice talk to them about? It's time to uncover the real truth about Liz's baby daddy. Amber and Trent want to set the record straight, especially now that they're about to be grandparents. Liz's parents have always been seriously concerned about Brice's lack of responsibility. Shockingly, what Brice does for a living is a total mystery, although he makes it obvious that he loves fishing. That's a nice catch, but you can't take a hobby like that all the way to the bank. Or can you? Brice loves the outdoors, and he's a laid-back guy.
Can you believe Brice wore a trucker hat to his big dinner?
Almost too laid back. It's crazy that Brice looked more grown up at his high school graduation in 2019. Liz wore a lovely grown-up dress, and Brice struck a pose in his cap and gown. He looked like a guy who might have a good future ahead of him. But what does Brice actually do for work now? He probably earned some money from appearing on 7 Little Johnstons. One inside source claims to know how much. The source is a TV producer named Terrence Michael. Terrence told E! News that reality TV stars earn a percentage of the overall budget for each episode that airs. But that percentage is split among every person who appears on the show. So who knows how much or how little Brice really makes off of reality TV. Brice did say something crazy on an episode of 7 Little Johnstons. This was when he was house hunting with Liz. They were checking out a property on 6 acres. Liz said that the house was west of where her parents live. So how would Brice feel about living close enough to Liz's parents for Trent to breathe down his neck?
I like this place just because I really like land.
It sounds like Brice could make do on 6 acres, and that's super nice for him. Hopefully Liz agreed to pay for it. The good news for Brice is Liz really loved the place too. They both couldn't believe the amount of space in the kitchen. That's when Brice said something totally insane. Did you watch this episode? And did you catch what Brice said?
Found this place because there's a guy I work with.
Did you hear that? It sounded like Brice was actually admitting he has a job. But the most insane thing is, it doesn't seem like anyone truly knows what that mystery job is. Maybe Brice has posted what he does for a living on social media. Or not. Brice's page doesn't reveal too much. Besides what we already know about him, there's no concrete proof of what he does for a living. His profile says Georgia, where he lives, as well as hunting and fishing. Brice definitely looks like he has the fishing part down. You know that old saying about teaching a guy to fish and feeding him for a lifetime? Brice seems to be taking that super literally. One source has been speculating online about what Brice might potentially do to make money. This source took a deep dive into Brice's social media accounts, mainly to see if they could figure out if Brice actually has a job. This source took a couple of guesses, and if those guesses are the real truth, Brice could be working as some kind of an influencer for a fishing bait and tackle company. The source pointed out that Brice wears a lot of monogrammed ball caps and t-shirts in his photos online, and he's always sporting merch when he's fishing. Brice also has a profile on a fishing website called National Pro Staff, so could Brice be working for them? The source confessed that there isn't any real proof of any of this. The fishing merch that Brice wears seems to be for multiple fishing bait and tackle companies, which is weird, because if Brice was an influencer, wouldn't he choose one brand of fishing bait and tackle over every other company? That's usually how it works with any influencer. Brice hasn't done any videos plugging one product or the other either. And there's another thing. The National Pro Staff website is more of an online fishing community. You'll see lots of anglers from around the world posting fishing photos on the site, although anglers can also purchase fishing gear on the website. So maybe Brice is involved in that online sales business somehow. Brice will have to make some room for baby pictures in his photo dumps. People magazine got the ball rolling for a new photo album when Liz announced her pregnancy news in September 2023. Can you imagine Trent smiling when he saw that pregnancy photo? I can't either. Trent has never held back when it comes to Brice and Liz.
I want to talk to both of you guys at the same time.
Even though Liz and Brice were adults when Trent lectured them about living together, Trent never thought that Brice was ready for what he was getting himself into. Her dad didn't even want Liz and Brice to sleep in the same bed, but Liz was confident about them moving in together. Then, Liz's world came crashing down. She was forced to sit down in her mother's bedroom last year, and she had to reveal the truth.
It kind of sucks.
Liz told Amber that Brice didn't want her to have to support him. She claimed that Brice wanted to do the right thing. Brice and Liz definitely did something, and everyone was pretty shocked by her baby news. People magazine published an exclusive last month about Liz and her baby daddy. Brice Brice and Liz have been together for 4 years. Their pregnancy announcement photo included Liz's sonogram picture, with an announcement that the baby was coming in November 2023. Liz and Brice told People they couldn't be more excited for baby Bolden to arrive. A lot is going on in Liz's life right now. What with nursing, going to graduate school, and now a little baby, it's obvious to everyone Brice is going to have to start stepping up. If not, those "does Brice even work" rumors will keep blowing up. It sounds like Amber might know the real truth, although she didn't really set the record straight on Brice. Amber seems confident that Liz is the main breadwinner in her little family. Liz allegedly began to save money early. Amber's side of the story is Brice hasn't gotten his life on track yet. I hope that Trent doesn't throw more shade at Liz over all this. He couldn't stop them from sharing a bed or moving in together, and now they're having a baby, which is what he didn't want. Liz revealed something shocking. She said she's heard the same lecture from her dad since she was 13 years old.
I grew up hearing, put the ring on the finger, get the ceremony done, then you move in.
Liz might not have that ring on her finger yet, but she's probably happy those breakup rumors weren't true. Fans of 7 Little Johnstons were convinced that Liz was dumping Brice earlier this year. Multiple sources noticed when Liz stopped posting photos of herself and Brice online. And shockingly, Liz didn't just stop posting pictures with Brice. She also made previous posts with him invisible to her followers. The breakup rumors blew up online, especially after Liz wiped Brice clean off her social media. But one thing's for sure, Brice and Liz are still together. Maybe we'll get to see what their home life is like after little baby Bolden arrives. And maybe, one day, Brice will take the kid to work with him too. Did you hear Brice mentioning the guy he works with on 7 Little Johnstons? Could Brice really be an influencer for some fishing bait or tackle company? And what do you think he will do next? He'll definitely have to do something after Liz has her baby. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.